I guess he won't play Summer League?
I would assume not if he's going to play in the Olympics.
Okay, well, he needs time on the basketball court, obviously. I mean, that is a guy last year who he was scared. Let's be honest here. He was scared to be on an NBA basketball court for early on in the season when they tried to play him. He was just trying to not make a mistake, which meant I'm going to do absolutely nothing on this basketball court. And as the season progressed near the end, I was interested in him. I didn't think it was a bad pick when the Mavericks made it. I would have gone with Corey's guy, Sadiq Bey, at the time. I remember sitting there with my kid because I wanted the Serbian Scorpion, who I knew was years away from being what I think is great. And Oklahoma City does love that kid and think he is going to be great. Time will tell there. But when he got taken 17th, I was like, I think we should take Sadiq Bey. And they didn't. Sadiq Bey, obviously more time in Detroit, had a very good rookie year. He'll probably be... He might be first team all rookie. NBA team. If not, he's second team for sure. And Josh Green, though, he has to be good for the Dallas Mavericks. He has to. You can't waste that 18th pick. It's done. It's Josh Green, but they have to develop him next year. He has to be able to give you at least 10 minutes, if not 20 minutes a game. And you have to feel like as that season next year is progressing, if you don't trade him, that he's really helping you because we're limited, Corey, with our picks. We have a first-round pick next year. We have no picks this year.
Right.
We have a first-round pick in 2022. We don't have a pick in the first round in 2023. And because we're limited with our assets, he has to become a contributing player for you.
Yeah, he's got to develop. And is Olympic basketball going to give him that opportunity to get those moments? Maybe.
He's playing with some good players.
Joe Ingles, Patty Mills, Ben Simmons. So he'll get to shoot threes if he wants to because Ben Simmons will not do it. He's got Ryan Breakoff on that team, Deladova, Chris Goulding. I mean, it is a pretty interesting little team they got going there. So I hope that he gets minutes that are meaningful, but more than anything, I hope that he is able to develop what the Mavericks, how they look and want to see him develop as a player for them too. Because I guess the problem is at the moment the Mavericks are like that's like stand out there and shoot threes. There's nothing else you can do, but he's got to learn defense. He's got to learn all those other things at this high of a level. So maybe this will be beneficial to him.
Okay, quick question about that then, because we talked about that in terms of people who think like Luka is a ball hog, and we're like, is that a product of that or that he has no other options? Is that just the way that the NBA has trended so far? Do you think the Mavericks in particular like to just stand around and shoot the three, or do you think that's a product of the personnel that they have?
I think it's the personnel.
We don't have people that can dribble.
No, and the thing is I beg people that think he's a ball hog to first I'd say, who the hell do you want dribbling and making plays on this team besides him? And then second of all, go to YouTube. You can watch him play for Real Madrid. I think it's still on YouTube, where you can watch and see how he played as the MVP of the second greatest league in the world at 18 years old, which I don't think even LeBron, maybe LeBron, but he's the only person in my lifetime that I think at 18 years old could have gone over to Europe in current generation and won the MVP at that age. Nobody else could have done that. And he did that. And he didn't do it by ball hogging and shooting the ball 20 times. He was passing a whole bunch. He was passing way more than shooting. And they had the best team in the world, besides NBA, when I say that. In the world, outside the NBA, he had the best team in the world around him. And all he was doing was distributing left and right and would show his scoring ability occasionally. He was way more Magic Johnson than what we see now because he had the right players around him to do it and won an MVP by passing the ball left and right. So to me, in his brain, his MVP came off of being more of a distributor than it was a scorer. He became a champion by being more of a distributor than a scorer. But because of the talent on this Dallas Maverick team, he knows he has to score more than distribute because there's nobody that can distribute. And I don't know if you guys notice this. You ever notice Luka doesn't move much without the ball?
Yeah.
When he does, he gets ticked off because he makes a cut, gets wide open, and guess what happens? Every human being on the Mavericks can't get him the ball back. So he kind of stops doing it at times and then just runs back out to half court and just give it to me here because you can't. Every time I pass and make a cut to the basket, you guys can't give it back to me. So you can see he shows his emotions every time. he kind of puts his head up or puts his head down like, well, I made a cut without the ball and you guys can't even see it.
I do remember seeing a move that Josh Richardson made to the basket and he threw his hands up like, why didn't you pass it to me? And then Richardson actually made the layup and he was still kind of like, I mean, I had a wide open three. And maybe that's part of the, like, you know, you're going to get yours, you're not going to get yours at times. And you got to trust your teammates. I don't think he trusts them, though, like to put it down in those situations. During this playoff,
do you trust him?
I'll
ask you, do you trust him?
I mean, I don't trust that I can get KP the ball. And I think that's like a real thing that's going on with Luka is that, if I know I can make this three-pointer, why would I give you the shot? I mean, if I'm the dude that's going to be making these shots, why would I? Well, I mean, because do you want to be available for the real stretch of the fourth quarter? Do you want to get your team involved throughout the game so that in the fourth quarter they feel like they're in a flow that they can make shots? So listen, Mike, there's no doubt about it that this roster doesn't have good enough talent. I don't think that we've made any secrets about our feelings on that at all. But the reality is, like, at the moment, he had to find some way to be able to do it, and they were incapable of doing it.
And then I just wonder when it comes to another player that I'm really intrigued with. Tyler Bay was an older rookie. He's 23 years old already. Right. Okay, so he went 4 years to Colorado. He's never going to be Shawn Marion, but his game reminds me of Shawn Marion. He's limited offensively, but his athleticism and his speed are great. I don't know if this is the right team for him because I think he would be better because he'd be better with a team that has a fast tempo.
Okay, and that's not us.
Right, and so he might be best used on a team that plays more like the Phoenix Suns.
Why are we not a fast tempo team?
Again, it goes back to personnel. I do kind of wonder, like, if you
want to up the tempo, don't you want a guy that can be an up-tempo guy, and Tyler Bay is that kind of guy?
Well, and I think Josh Green actually could be as well, but there's just no way in hell that you're just going to, like, I would be fascinated by that experiment, but I think we'd all agree there's no way in hell that you would trot both of them out there to start the season. So that's why I think they would have a difficulty, like, really picking up the pace.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is so I think those two guys, because they're those wing guys at the right sizes, 6'5", 6'7", that can help you play defense, that can hopefully Josh Green can have an offensive game. And you have to have some two-way players out there.